Hey guys, welcome again. Today I have an opportunity to go to the All-Star Martial Arts and Fitness and have a sit-down conversation with Instructor Fleming. It's going to be a good show. Let's go get into it.
All right, so I'm going to have my daughter demonstrate some self-defense things from different attacks. She kind of has the idea of what we're going to be doing. Remember that techniques are done from repetition. So, of course, she's going to be prepared for it because that's what we do here. We do stuff over and over again until we do it right. All right, so you're going to defend the overhand right. You ready? So this is Swai Jiao. This is Chinese wrestling.
Good. Here with Instructor Fleming of the
All-Star Martial Arts and Fitness.
All-Star Martial Arts and Fitness, Bedford, Ohio. I'm a little tongue-tied here this morning.
That's all right. Take it slow.
Well, thank you for coming on the show.
No problem.
I truly appreciate it. And these are my favorite kind of shows. We got a little action going on, and we're learning some stuff.
Absolutely.
So tell me about the school. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
And how you got involved in this, in the sport and so forth.
All right. Well, that's kind of a mouthful. I started here at All-Star Martial Arts. I was a training brother of mine, Richard Prather, who owns this school and had been here for a little bit. And he was getting close to retirement, and since we knew each other, he asked me to come in and maybe do some teaching at All-Star. From that point on, I then became the owner of All-Star, and I have been running All-Star now since 2012.
2012. So now Richard was your prior instructor, or
No, he was a training brother. So,
training
yes.
brother? What exactly does that mean?
It means that we trained in the same school together under the same instructor.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, so we refer to each other's as brothers and sisters when we train. So
Okay.
not only do the adults, but the children. So that builds a sense of community.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Instructor Fleming. How did you ever get involved in Kung Fu here?
Well, me personally, which I try to stay positive with the children, so I actually didn't start martial arts until I was 21.
Okay.
And I did not join martial arts because I was being bullied. I joined martial arts because I was kind of a troubled kid. And I got into a lot of fights as a young kid. And I had some anger issues from things that happened when I was a kid. So I actually joined martial arts as a place to learn some control and some discipline, and a place to be able to express myself in that manner without actually damaging anyone or myself. So,
well, that's actually a very good point, because actually growing up, I was bullied pretty bad myself. So I got involved in martial arts. Started with Tracy's Karate, little Taekwondo with Master Houck, and but that later on I ended up becoming a bully, because of all the anger and different things of being picked on all those years. How does Kung Fu help someone become more disciplined?
the more you know, the less you feel obligated to show off.
Okay.
Normally, if you see someone showing off in the martial arts, they're usually new, which is why a lot of times their techniques don't work. The more stuff you know, the less you have to prove. You've already pushed yourself to a limit beyond your own personal imagining. You've already shown yourself a part of yourself that you didn't know existed before. And when you know you have that sort of strength, you feel a responsibility towards the people around you. You feel an obligation not to hurt the people that you're with, because you know that you can.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. So, as a parent, why would you recommend my children come to your school?
Well, our school for children and for adults is based on good character. Chinese martial arts, which is what I teach here, Shaolin Kung Fu, is about character. So you have to remember that Shaolin Kung Fu, Shaolin is named after a monastery. A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah. These are monks. So good character, humility, responsibility, respect, which I always tell the kids, respect is really simple. Treating others the way you want to be treated. If you don't like to be called names, then you don't call people names. If you don't like to be hit, you don't hit. So it's not a complicated idea.
Right. Okay.
So, like I said, we refer to each other as brothers and sisters. So these kids leave here with a sense of responsibility for each other and a sense of community. So they get a chance to communicate face to face without a little box around their head.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. They, well, that brings up another question, and I kind of just shoot from the hip when I'm doing these. As you know, we're not scripted, but is there a belt system? Is it just like a training session, or I mean, how does the whole Kung Fu work?
Well, just like any other martial art, there is a belt system.
Okay.
Now, some places test every 3 months, some places test every 4 months. For adults, I test every 6 months.
Okay.
And for children, so it's a little longer than the average program. There is no end to martial arts. A lot of people think black belt is the end. It is a mastery of the basics. Then there's an entire education that goes on after that.
Okay.
So your belt system, what that's doing is it's letting you know that you're where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Why do we test? Because I know what you do every day. I'm watching you train in class. But have you been practicing enough on your own that I don't have to help you? I don't have to stand in front of you. I can say, do your routine, and you know it.
Okay.
If you can do that, I know you've been practicing.
So when you say routine, you mean like with each belt there's a particular number of moves you must learn?
With each belt, there is a particular curriculum. So
Okay.
more than a few things that you must have memorized and practiced for that next belt.
Okay.
And then your black belt, what makes that so important, is that it is then an accumulative test of everything I've ever showed you. Warning to any future students, just because I showed it to you once doesn't mean I'm not going to ask you for it again. So you keep notes and you go home and practice what I taught you, even if it's just 5 or 10 times before you're done for the evening.
Okay, so with that being said, if I was to sign up today, how long would it take me to get to that point of being a black belt?
In my school, as an adult, it's going to take you almost 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of training, 5 years.
Yeah.
So you're not just handing out black belts. You're actually working towards these belts.
Yeah, no. In good conscience, I hate to say it, but no, you can't buy my belts.
Okay.
If you're not ready.
Right.
I am nice. I will tell you you're not ready before you take your test so that you don't waste your time. But
Okay.
I can't if you don't know the material. It's just dangerous. It's not fair to you.
Now, with Kung Fu, are there particular katas that you must learn, or is that something totally different?
So the reference to kata would be karate, but yes, in Kung Fu we have forms, just like in karate. And yes, they are open-handed fighting techniques. So all they're there to teach you is the certain techniques that we have and the way those techniques flow. So a lot of times when you see these moves and they seem flashy and you're saying that all it looks like is a bunch of weird hand movements.
Right.
That is the routine to maximize your power and your momentum, but that is not how you will use it.
Okay.
How you will use it, only you and I will know. The forms are for the general public to see our techniques.
Okay.
They are hidden within the routine. Only the
Alright.
students will know that.
Well, that leads me to another question, Instructor Fleming. What is the difference between karate and Kung Fu? I think the general conception is, you get these guys out there, jumping around, kicking people in the head, flying around the air, like on, in the Hollywood and the movies and so forth. But what's the real difference between the Kung Fu and the karate?
Very simple. Country.
Country?
Country.
Okay.
Karate is from Japan and Kung Fu is from China.
Okay.
That's the simplest form. You're going to have a lot of aficionados tell you, well, Kung Fu is a soft style and karate is a hard style.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I know that Tai Chi people think of that as a soft style, but there is nothing about the way that we strike another human being that is soft in either one of those styles.
Okay.
One may look more flowy than the other, but it doesn't mean that it lacks power. It just is a difference in ideology. In my particular style of Kung Fu, we say that speed and momentum equals power. So that is the reason why we flow and move the way that we do.
A lot like boxing.
Right.
When you're
It's
striking,
speed and
it's
momentum.
speed.
Right.
The power comes. My boxing instructor used to tell us, the power comes with the speed.
Correct.
So
So
okay.
one is not better. Kung Fu is older,
Okay.
So most of the other martial arts, people don't realize that were developed from Kung Fu. They were developed from the Shaolin monks who escaped from the temple in the Shaolin's third burning. And of course, when they escaped throughout Asia, they landed in, what? Japan, Vietnam, so all these places. And so then that's where they get their, that's why they're all kind of versions of each other.
So at what point in history, something now at what point in history did actually Kung Fu get started?
Well, there is a common consensus, hopefully I get these right, that Kung Fu started from a master Damo or Buddha Dharma, who was a master from India, who came to the Shaolin Temple to teach the monks how to meditate properly because they were fasting and malnutrition and tired and weak, and they kept falling asleep during their meditation. So he taught them a set of exercises that kept them awake and kept them in good shape. And then as the years went on, they developed some styles and some techniques they had gotten from studying animals. They were scholars of martial arts. And then, of course, the rebels that were fighting against the bad governments would hide out in the Shaolin Temple and in exchange teach them how to fight. So you've got street toughs and real warriors passing on this knowledge. And the Shaolin monks combined them together, made a system, and kept scrolls and notebooks and passed it on as a form of education.
Now that's interesting. Very interesting. So, I like to ask everybody at least one tough question. My question is, what separates your Kung Fu school from another school, a karate school, or even another Kung Fu school? What is the separation there?
I would love to believe, first and foremost, that this is the sense of family and community that's in my school. So I'm the head instructor. My daughter Mariah, who is 16, is my assistant instructor, and on her way to being a head instructor and an adult black belt. My wife works in the office. My son is part of, so it's a family thing. I pass this on to him. So we have a family atmosphere, an atmosphere of diversity and acceptance and and closeness.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's more along the lines of like a mom and pop shop, in general terms.
Yes.
So you have that opportunity to actually intermingle with the parents or the adult classes.
Absolutely.
And build that character, that friendship.
Yes.
At the same time of teaching and learning. That's great to hear.
And I'm a little old-fashioned in the way that we don't coddle or over-talk, or I don't over-philosophize the kids today. We accept responsibility, we accept the challenge of training, and we're all in it together. But we don't hand out willy-nilly compliments. We earn everything we get here.
Okay, great. Now, how would someone go about signing up?
Real easily. I just have you come in and I have you try a class.
Okay.
The best thing to do, I have to tell people, you cannot window shop for martial arts. You can't just call a place and ask them how much it costs and try to make a decision on fees. That's not, you have to know that you're compatible with the instructor, that the instructor is compatible with your child. You have to know that your child, that this isn't a fad because they saw a movie, that they really want to do it. And the only way you're going to know that is by trying the class with no obligation. Then when you're done, something you like, then you join our school.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You guys come down and check out the martial arts studio. I'm sorry, the U.S.
All-Star Martial Arts.
All-Star Martial Arts. Okay. But another quick question.
Yeah.
What does the uniform represent? What does it mean? It looks like something you see on television, but apparently it's
No,
not
it's real.
just on television,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's absolutely real. Although my master will make fun of me because mine's kind of shiny and fancy.
Okay.
But this is just your traditional Chinese garb. So yes, it's very confusing on TV. You see people wearing this outfit like they're doing karate, and no. This is traditional Chinese Kung Fu, what we call a He-Fu or a top.
Okay.
In the background, you'll notice, if you notice people, my wife, I think, is wearing a Swai Jiao jacket.
Okay.
That is the throwing that we teach here, because I teach two different styles.
Oh, two different styles. Now,
Yes.
what is that? What do you mean, two different styles?
I teach Shaolin Kung Fu, which is a long fist system, even though it has grappling and things like that in it. It's a lot of the punch and kicks from the forms.
Okay.
The Swai Jiao, in short, is what we call Chinese wrestling. Most people will recognize that it sort of looks like judo.
Okay.
Not that there are not hands and feet in combat in Swai Jiao. There is both grappling and stand up in all systems of martial arts. It just depends on if your instructor knows both sides or not. Swai Jiao is older than Kung Fu. Swai Jiao is actually considered one of the first martial arts. Wrestling period is one of the first martial arts.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time one caveman fought with another one over a chicken bone, they probably wrestled.
Okay.
So, yeah, so Swai Jiao is the first martial art. So Swai Jiao doesn't need Kung Fu, but Kung Fu needs Swai Jiao.
Okay. Now, with all that being said, what kind of students are you looking for? I mean, in today's day and age, we have, children are kind of getting lazy. I think with the television, the music, the video games, they don't have the respect that we had as when we were children growing up. I mean, it's more than evident in everything you see every day. Would this help a parent with a troubled child?
Oh, absolutely. I have special needs children. I have children with ADD. I actually have an adult student in a wheelchair. I can teach anyone as long as the student and the student's parents are willing to put forth the commitment. So Kung Fu is very active. That's it. I don't have classes where we sit around and lecture for 45 minutes. This is the longest amount of talking that I do. We do a lot of training and breathing.
Okay.
When I talk to you, it's because I gave you a 2-minute break. So you don't have time to play and be unfocused.
Right.
And eventually they become acclimated to it. And then they follow the other students around them, examples of good behavior. They're training brothers and sisters.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, you've been here for quite a long time now. How have you seen with the troubled children the progress throughout the years of training and working with them?
Actually, believe it or not, with children that are considered troubled or even have like special needs, I see improvement in children with ADD and autism. We have autism. We have Asperger's. I see improvement in those things within 30 to 60 days.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's almost immediate. You start to see a difference.
And it's just the training, the discipline, showing the respect, following the rules.
And my voice.
Yeah. keeps them
That's it.
motivated.
You have to keep their attention. You have to make eye contact.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. Well, you know what? I don't really have any more questions for you. Would you like to do a demonstration for us?
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I'm going to let my daughter beat up on me for a little bit.
Okay.
So I like to show people how your regular victims, your underdogs, your children, and your women, people that are normal victims, how powerful they can really be when they're focused on what they're doing.
Excellent. Well, let's go get into it.
Left hook, lower body control. Start! Good. These are some common things that will happen to women. I want you to do the front choke defense. So normally if a man grabs a woman and starts to choke her, he does it because he's angry. So that means he wants to grab her and either push her on the floor or slam her against the wall. So, we do teach you how to fall here. All right, very good. So, you can do that. Or she can go into simple chinas, say from being bullied, from what we call grabbed up, right? So simple chinas, I'm not gonna tell you what china to do. You pick that for them. Stop! All right, a few more. Sit. Ah! Good. Woo! All right. Turn around. Now I'm gonna mug you from behind. All right. All right. All right. All right. Little girl walking home from the park. So I like to call this one little girl walking home from the park. This is my favorite one. I taught my daughter this When she was in, when were you old enough to walk? 4th grade, 5th grade? Yeah, so as soon as she was old enough to walk home, I taught her this. This is called little girl walking home from school. Tight. Good. I taught her this when she was 2 years old, because I call this little girl playing in the sandbox. So this is what I taught her if she was ever at the park and was attacked by a stranger. All right. One more. So we do a few different knife defenses, but we'll just do one. Okay. Good. So those last things that she was doing, if you can't see what she's doing because she's moving quick, these are called chin knots. They're joint locks. So when she grabs me, that's what she's doing. That's why I drop my weapon. All right, I'm not going to let you beat me up anymore. Turn and bob. Thank you.
Perfect. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in, and a special thank you to the staff here at All Star Martial Arts and Fitness, and a special thank you to Instructor Fleming for the great show. Until the next time, guys, have a great day, and bye-bye.